Hello and welcome to Season 2, Episode 3 of The Head Coach. My name's Daniel and coming up today we're playing Forest Green in the Vanarama National League and then a big FA Cup tie at home to Blackpool on TV. But firstly, since yesterday's episode we have moved on to our newer PC, which will hopefully prevent any lagging issues and give you a bit more of a crystal clear image. And also, I don't know what all the fuss was about at Dover. Things are going rather well now. As you can see, we're sitting in 5th place in the league. We're comfortably in the playoffs. Our director of football's been as busy as we hoped he would be, and results have turned around on the pitch as well. We've played loads of games since our last episode against Tranmere, and you can see we're unbeaten and we've only dropped 2 points, which is rather remarkable. And the 2 points we dropped were against Torquay, who were bottom of the league at the time. Other than that, we've won the other 8 of the last 9 league games. We've also won the qualifying round of the FA Cup. And now with our 2 big games coming up today, we could cement what's going to be one hell of a season, after all our negativity at the start. We also want to look at what our director of football's been up to. We'd given him a bit of a scathing criticism in the last episode, but he's proven himself now. He's not let anyone else go. He is trying to get rid of a couple at the moment, but he's brought in 4 new players, one of which is unnecessary, but the other 3 look like excellent signings. So we've got Josh Ashby, who we mentioned in the last episode. He was in on trial when we played our last one against Tranmere. He did bring him in after the trial, just £350 a week. He's a 3.5-star centre midfielder with 5-star potential, and he has come straight into the first team alongside Brundle. You can see from the bottom there he's got a couple of assists already in his first 5 games, and he is absolutely flying for us. He's made such a difference, and we've started to dominate games now a little bit. Next we have Liam Bellamy. He is a former player here who got released in the summer. He's one we said that we never replaced, and we've replaced him with himself. He's only a backup player, but he's played over 90 games for the club. He's very solid. He can cover in both the ball winning and central midfielder position, and he's a 2.5-star player without any more potential, but we're completely happy with him being back at the club. We've got a third centre midfielder, which is where it gets a bit unnecessary. It's Kenny Davis, a 30-year-old who was formerly at Sutton United. He is 2-star current ability, 2-star potential. He is a decent pro. He's not going to play many games. He's made 1 sub-appearance so far and will get some games in the FA Trophy. But he's not going to be a first teamer for us. But we will look at him in terms of coaching and things like that as well, because he is a good professional. And lastly, we've got Jonah Ayunga, I think that is. He is a centre forward, the position we were crying out for someone. He can play pretty decently in the advanced forward role as well as the target man, and he's got pace and strength and all the physical attributes you'd want. He seems like the perfect super sub, and hopefully he will improve technically. He's 3-star current ability and 4-star potential. He has made a couple of sub appearances so far, but is yet to get off the mark. The only problem we do have with him as our backup striker is, again, you can see he's a Kenyan international, and we lose him most of the international breaks. And we may, if they qualify, lose him for the African Nations Cup as well, so we'll have to keep an eye out for that one. But all of that means we're in excellent shape going into today's game at home to Forest Green. So let's get straight into it and look at the lineup we're playing today. It's not too dissimilar to when you last joined us, but just having that bit of extra depth really helped us out. So we've got Walker in goal, a back 4 of Pasley, Casey, Galafuco and Hammerlinen, a midfield 4 of Tracy, Brundle, Ashby and Pinnock, and the front 2 are still Bird and Hyde. We've got a Younger and Bellamy on the bench. Parry's out injured unfortunately, and Davis hasn't made the squad. We've also got a bit of a problem with Connor Essam. He's the club captain, but he's unhappy because he's not getting in the team. He's not getting in the team because he's the 4th rated centre half and he's quite slow. But you can see if we go and look at the dynamics that he's the team leader at the moment, and that is causing a bit of trouble because he's getting a few people on side. But if he goes, my hope is that Mitch Brundle will go and take that mantle then, and he's been the perfect leader for us so far. So let's get into the game, see what we can do. Hopefully we can get a win on the board against Forest Green, and things will look perfect for us as we cement a position in this surprising playoff run. You can see Forest Green are playing a flat 4-4-2 like ourselves, so should be a fairly even game. They're 2 of the bigger sides in the league. They of course only got relegated last year as well from League 2. But let's get into it, let's see how it goes. We can't complain too much. You can already see the graphics are so much better. I've been looking forward to this for a couple of weeks now. But it's Forest Green with the early possession, but it doesn't lead to anything, and the highlight's over before we can say anything about it. And with 5 or 10 minutes in, we'll just hope that nothing happens. We have got a little problem with our ground. As you can see, our usual sideline image, you can see that it just cuts off the corner of the pitch, so we're going to have to do something about that. As Hyde knocks it down, but it's cleared away. So let's see if we can move out a little bit and it will get a bit more of the pitching. There we go. We can see most of the pitch again now. That's more like it. Forest Green bringing it down the left-hand side. He's found Doige, the striker, who puts it in, but Galafuco mops up. I have to say, as much as Manny Parry's our best-rated centre-half, we have looked a lot better with the other two in the team since he's been out. So that's something I have to think about. But they've just hit a 60-yard ball over, and they've put it wide up front. Who is that? Is that Ruben Reid? It is as well, but he's put it wide. He's wasted the chance. And 15 minutes in, there's not been too much happening so far. We've got a warning to close a couple of people down, which we'll do. But again, we'll take a draw against these top sides. We're more than happy to be in the position we're in. We're not expecting to finish in the playoffs as Bird goes in for a long ball, but it's been intercepted. We're not expecting to finish in the playoffs. If we can hover around and get that top half finish, we'll see that next season we'll be able to get that move maybe up to League 2. Like we did last year, we overachieved with Bognor and we got this move. If we can just crawl our way up without having to do it on the pitch, it would be the cheekiest way of getting to the top. Here is Brundle as we seem to be building quite a nice attack with Pinnock into Bird, and it's saved by the keeper out for a corner. We're playing, you can see already, we're playing much better football. We're using the target men and holding it up. Pinnock's got the ball out on the right here. He's going to cut it inside to Brundle. Brundle going to take it forward 25 yards out. A beautiful reverse ball into Pinnock and it's cleared away. But Galafuco on the left wing. Can he get the ball in? No, he's challenged and it's been hoofed away by Forest Green. We're a quarter of the way through and we're starting to assert some dominance like we had in the previous games. Hyde back to Hammerline, and can we build another one? No, we can't. It's been intercepted, and Forest Green have looked dangerous on the counter a couple of times. Here is Reed again, but Ashby, the newer signing, mops up again. And the long ball, and Bird wins a flick on this time. Hyde's in the defender, and he's through on goal, but he's put it miles wide. He's got a hat-trick in the last game against Maidenhead, he did, but he's just not been on form so far today, Jake Hyde. He just seems to have one great game in every 3 or 4 and then a couple of dodgy ones. But he has been scoring goals, so we can't complain about him too much. As has Ryan Bird, to be fair. I think it wasn't the last game Jake Hyde scored, it was the one before. I think we played Wrexham after that, where Bird got a couple, coincidentally. Here we go on the attack again. Brundle to Tracy, finds Bird into the right channel. Can he cut it back again to Tracy? He does. He goes in behind. Bird's got to get across him from here. He finds Hyde, but it's been saved by Pickering. It's a fairly easy save. But we are having all the running, which we haven't seen on one of these episodes, probably in the whole series so far. We were almost very defensive and on the counter-attack for Bognor the whole season, and here we were awful in the first 2 episodes, but things have been going so well, and hopefully we can just keep that form on for a few more games, especially if we can do it in the cup tie. I think we will have a real chance then. Ashby finds Bird, he's out to Tracy on the right. Can he get a ball in? No, he's gone back to Passley, but we're building again, and you can see we're keeping possession so much better. We've got in again down the right. He finds Hyde on the edge. He has a poor shot and it's gone a long way wide. But the football we're playing is really starting to interest me, starting to excite us. We have seen a slight growth in attendances, so I don't think we can put that down to that. Hyde gets the ball. Hyde gets on the end of that cross, but he's put it wide. We're wasting chances now, which we might regret later on. Hyde seems to be having one of those games where he's missing his 3 or 4 instead. But Forest Green have got the attack there from a set piece. And Frost shot saved well. The rebounds come to nothing and Passley can watch it go out for a throw. But that's the first real sign of danger we've seen since Ruben Reid's early shot for Forest Green. And after all the positives, we've got yet another injury at centre-half. Galafuco's coming off injured, and the only replacement we've got is the transfer listed and unhappy Connor Essam. He is the club captain, so let's see just how professional he is this time. But it will be about half-time there. We've got time to regroup, and it's a pretty good first half against a very strong side who are up in third. And if we can play like that for the rest of the game and get the result, we'll be more than happy. Let's give them a bit of encouragement then. They've done rather well in that half. It's followed the pattern of the last 8 or 9 games, where after that Tranmere one in the last episode where we scraped such a lucky win, it was a really even game. We didn't deserve to win it. But Bird's in early in the second half. We'll scratch that, but it's headed away from Hyde. But since then, we've just grown in confidence. The form's really improved. Ashby had been a key man. I know he's not playing well today, but aside from that, he's been such a key man for us. And we've really started to control a lot of the games and not just win, but win by 2 or 3 as well. You saw the Maidenhead one, they had a red card, but it was 4-0 and we never looked like letting in a goal. Here's Hyde as we build another attack. Brundle to Pinnock with the cross, and Bird's missed a sitter. Thankfully he was offside. It spared his blushes because that was a poor miss. Reed's coming forward for Forest Green now. It's starting to get a bit of an end-to-end feel to it, but Walker makes a save fairly easily there. An hour gone, we can start to look at our subs in a minute. We're getting a very late warning about that injury. I don't know why that's come up so late on. Here is Bird to Tracy. Passley's put a long ball in, but it's blocked by the first man, and he finds Brundle again. Tracy down the right. Can he get across? And he does to Jake Hyde. That time it was a better effort, but it was still saved by Pickering. We might have to take him off. He struggled in front of goal today, but luckily we've got a good striker we can bring on now. So let's get them two done. We'll use both the remaining subs. We'll switch Bird over and get a Younger's pace on as the advance forward. And we'll also give Josh Ashby a rest. He's had a struggle this game, and we'll bring Bellamy on for him. He's alright in the defensive central midfield, so we'll do that as well. Let's see if they make any difference, if we can start to build some more attacks. And even just the fresh legs, you can see for Forest Green, excuse me, as I fall off my stool there almost, you can see with Forest Green they're running out of fitness very quickly, and hopefully we can assert our dominance now as a result. Brundle finds Passley, and Bellamy, the substitute, finds a Younger. Bird into the edge of the box, and he had another go from the edge, but it's wide. Just lacking that bit of guile on that final pass today. We're shooting from narrow angles and unlikely situations, which is a shame. But look at their attacking players. They're all in the 50s for fitness. Surely it's only a matter of time if we keep charging at them. They have had more shots on target, but we have had a fair amount of the game. And you'd say we've probably had the best chances of the match. I know Forest Green, it says they've had the extra clear-cut one, but we've created so many attacking positions, and it's something we haven't done for a long time, particularly in episodes on camera. We've done it for the last few games off it, but it's nice to see something a bit different and a bit more advanced down the pitch for this game. Here is Passley. Can we create a late chance and a late goal like we did against Wrexham in the last one? Passley crosses to Bird, and it's saved by Pickering. But that's what happened against Wrexham. We were 0-0 with a good control of the game for a long time, and then we finally got the goals late on. But they're coming forward now with Doidge, who tries a hopeful shot and it's gone miles wide. If that's the best they can do, and if that's the reason they've had more shots than goal than us, then that's fair enough, because they're hopeless efforts. Going into stoppage time now, we've gone for the long goal kick. Bird's lost out in the air this time, but Bellamy to Brundle. It's a poor through ball, really. And was that our last chance to get an attack? It wasn't, because the clearance has been blocked, and Pinnock finds a Younger to Bird, and he's forced another good save out of Pickering. I know we're not going to win this game now, but we have to be pleased with the performance. Forest Green have got one last chance, so we won't speak too soon, but here is Williams for them. They're building it up in midfield, but if we can hold out for 0-0, it'd be a good result, considering the way we've played too. Hammerline, we just want him to clear it, and he does. Passley goes long, and we got a last chance to chase it on with the sub Younger. He's not going to get there realistically, and it is probably going to finish 0-0 now. It's been an even game, we can't complain. We've had a lot of the better chances, but Forest Green have been in it too, so we can't complain about the result. But it has finished 0-0. Decent performance, and it's nice to see us playing well for the first time, and with attacking intent. We're more than happy to take a result against a team who are above us in the league, one of the few teams at this point. And we move on to the FA Cup tie, still with a high amount of confidence, hopefully. Let's give them a bit of encouragement. There's no way we're calling that disappointing. That was alright. We'll say they're unlucky. Keep them on side, because they've been doing really well for us, as I absolutely smacked the spacebar there. Sorry if you heard that. Getting a bit aggressive with the spacebar these days, but we stay in 5th place. We're 5 points in the playoffs. The gap hasn't been narrowed down at all. We're not even going to be looking at the top of the league. Aldershot and Wrexham are well away, even though we beat Wrexham in the last one. We don't expect to be anywhere near them. Most importantly for us, we've got that sort of 10-point gap down to the lower mid-table where Tranmere are at the moment. Let's see if they've said anything nice about us. They've said honours even, and it was a fairly level game. But there's the big worry. Torn calf muscle, we know what that means. The standard 3 to 4 months is coming. 4 to 5 at this level is a real loss for us. It does mean the youngster Casey's going to get a game. But if Parry's not back for next week's FA Cup tie, we could be playing a very weakened team at the back. We'll be back in a minute for that game against Blackpool, so stay with us. Okay, we're back, and for the second season in a row, we've got a lucky big home FA Cup first round tie. Last year it was Bognor at home to my beloved Luton Town, and this year we're with Dover Athletic at home to League One Blackpool. So let's see how they're getting on in the league. They're mid-table in League One, so we would expect them to be winning handsomely. They are the favourites for the game, not quite as heavily as you might expect. But let's get into it and look at the lineup we've got today. Similar to last time, I think it's just the one change with Parry coming back from injury in for Galifiuco, who's obviously out for 4 months now. So we've got Walker in goal, a back four of Passley, Parry, Casey and Hammerlinen, a midfield four of Tracy, Brundle, Ashby and Pinnock, and the two big men, Bird and Hyde up front. 7 subs for the FA Cup, so everyone bar Kenny Davis makes the squad. Now let's get into it and see if we can pull off our second shock in 2 years. Obviously, we had the big game against Luton last year where we managed to get a replay. We're playing against Blackpool today with a 4-4-2, and hopefully we can achieve the same result, because believe me, if we can get a replay again, I'll be delighted. Let's get them to prove a point as we smash the spacebar again. Getting a bit louder. I'll try and quieten down eventually. We've got the early running. Can we build an attack? I doubt our dominance in the air up front will be quite as big today, so that might be where the issue comes, as Blackpool immediately get on the front foot with Menga down the left. He's put in an early cross. Casey heads away and it's flicked by Pinnock. Obviously the one difficulty with Galafuco out is we've got two right-footed only defenders playing at the back together now. Casey's not played on the left side much, bar the odd game where Galafuco's been out before. Probably only twice at most, and the odd sub appearance. Bird with a shot, he's at the bar. Oh, what a great early effort. And even against Blackpool in League One, we're causing a bit of trouble. I think our game plan with these two front men, now they're settled in and have got the right tools behind them, we look a real threat. Blackpool are coming forward early on, but we are going to have a bit of trouble at the back, as I said, with Casey, but it's not looked that way so far, so I'll leave him to it. Bird gets another cross in and it's headed away, but it's back to Passley on the right. He finds Tracy. Can he deliver again? He cuts it back brilliantly to Brundle, and Williams has been forced into another save. And we are piling pressure on the League One club. I'm not going to judge the attendance, sorry, but it looks like there's plenty more fans in today. Pinnock's got it on the edge. He's shot, but it's gone wide. We have been all over them early doors, and it looks like the full capacity crowd is getting exactly what it wanted, which is a dominant and fearless display at home so far. But Blackpool are coming forward now with Menga who shoots, and Mitch Walker's equal to it with a good save. That was their first shot of the game, and he's got another one, two in a row. It was almost deja vu. I thought we'd had a replay on there for a minute, but it has been blocked and it's out for a corner now. It's Jay Spearing with the delivery. He's gone back. That's three in a row now. We've got to do something about that, and it's blocked for another corner. Oh, remind me to put someone on the edge of the box in the comments, because I'll forget by the next episode if not. Something I've got to do, because that's where the goals are coming from. But Parry heads away, and they're going to get a second chance to put it into the box, and Brundle's made a great challenge. I thought he'd lunged in there. He has had one red card already, but he's got a free kick at the other end, and he's put it just over. But we have been really good so far. We haven't had a domination in possession yet, but we have looked really good going forward. And Hyde gets it in behind to Pinnock again. Can he deliver for Bird in the box? He does, and Bird heads, but is saved by Williams. We are in absolutely brilliant form, and the confidence is flowing. We've had double the amount of shots, double the amount on target. We haven't had all the possession, but that doesn't matter the way we're playing at the moment. Blackpool are coming forward now, but they're building slowly, and we've got those solid two banks of four at the back again. Campbell finds Nathan Delfonso, and Walker's made a howler. Oh, after all the positives. And the keeper, who has been brilliant for us in the last 10 games or so, has made an absolute shocking mistake there. He should have saved that. Now we're getting the warning to close Menga down after he's caused all the trouble from the corners. Nathan Delfonso gets given a gift, the former Aston Villa player. Probably shows how far we've come that we're playing against players like Spearing and Delfonso. And again with the corner, watch where it goes, straight out to Menga, and his shot goes miles wide this time. I guess the other way to look at it is those set pieces, for the amount of time Menga misses, is probably less dangerous than them just putting it in the box. But the confidence has dried up now. We haven't really had a chance since their goal, and it does look like it's all going a little bit wrong. And I just hope, like we had last year with Bognor, we lost the replay 6-1 to Luton and the confidence just went for 3 or 4 games. We can't really afford to have the same thing here. It is half time though. It's been a really good half from us, but we just made a silly mistake at the back. We've encouraged them to do the same again in the hope that we can claw back a goal and get a replay again. Just like last year, we'd be delighted with that. Here they come, the early running in the second half. They look to be getting through us a bit easily now. We still haven't had an attack since the goal, about the half an hour mark, but we have got it now. Can we bring it forward, or is it just going to be a big hoofed clearance like that one there? We're not dominating in the air. We have created chances, but not much has come from it so far. Here's Tracy down the right to Bird. His cross is blocked. I don't know why he's trying to cross it from there. But Ashby and Brundle finds Bird in the box, but his shot is absolutely atrocious. It's nearly a throw-in, but not quite. A few minutes in, then Blackpool have got another chance to come forward now. Menga, the danger man, gets the cross in, but Parry heads away. Ashby hasn't made the second ball, and Blackpool can turn it over again. They've got Campbell into the box now, who's put it a long way wide. we're just looking a little bit leggy now in this second half. We haven't created much at all since the goal. The confidence seems to be going, and I just hope it doesn't affect the lead form. But we're coming forward now. I might be getting a bit too pessimistic too soon, but that pass from Bundle tells me that confidence might be wavering a little. They're counter-attacking us with this front two. They're a bit pacey, and they're just getting through us so easily now. Campbell has a shot, but it's high and wide, thankfully. We are going to have to think about subs in a minute. Jake Hyde again not having the best of games. We've got to think about something to change it up because it hasn't looked good for us and we don't look like scoring in a month of Sundays at the minute. Let's do it early then. We'll wait for this free kick to take its course. It's gone way over the bar, so that's good for us. But let's make that change. We'll get Bird into the target man, bring on Ayunga, the new super sub. He hasn't done anything to prove that role yet. I just like to call him that in the hope it might happen eventually. We'll give it 10 more and then we'll take Brundle off as well because he's been a bit risky with the yellow cards this season. He's had one red already and he's had a ban for the 5 yellow cards too. So we don't want him to get another red card. We had that trouble last year as well, to be honest, didn't we, with Widrington at Bognor Regis. Delfonso's in again and Walker this time does much better. It's a good save, but for me, he's never going to repay that goal. That goal he let in the first half from Delfonso. Free kicks blocked, but they're getting it back into the box again. It's just a lot easier for them in this half. It's take the sort of game plan of a similar FA Cup tie now. You tend to see at the big side, they get into it and around the hour mark, they just start to dominate. They've had another shot that's gone high and wide there, but it is all Blackpool in this half. And I've left it too long. Brundle's getting his red card. I left it just a few minutes too long, and that is game over now. We're going to have to sacrifice one of the strikers. It will be Bird. We're going to put a fourth midfielder back on and just go for the counter-attack up top. Oh, I should have made it at the same time, shouldn't I? I know you're all probably screaming at me, telling me why didn't I do it then. You have to trust your star players, and unfortunately he's let me down on this occasion. We'll make the other sub while we're here as well. We'll take Tracy off, who's not had the best game, and get Wanadio on for that pace out wide. We're going to go to a bit more of a counter-attacking play now. We'll try and use Ayunga's pace in behind, but I can't really see much happening out of this one now, to be honest with you. We won't pump it into the box because I don't know if he's good enough in the air to win it. But we'll go with that and we'll see if we can get just that one miracle chance and stay solid at the back. If we don't concede a second, there's always a little chance just to go for it in the last 5 minutes. But with 20 minutes to go, I think it is just about over now. And Bellamy, who's come on's already got a yellow card, so we'll have to keep an eye out for that. As they're making space against us so easily, we're more likely to get drawn out of position and commit those sort of fouls. But you've just got to trust them not to do it too much here. Atkinson finds Delfonso, and again with Campbell, who's put it wide. But look at the shots since half time. It was around level at the break, and Blackpool have just had around 10 shots in this half already. Thank God they haven't been better in front of goal, because it could be so many more by now if they had been. But here they come forward again with Delfonso. Back to Atkinson, but they've got so much time on the ball now. It's so easy for them, and Delfonso nearly scores a great goal there. You know he's got ability, but that time the volley goes just wide. And can we build one attack now with Wanadio to Ashby? Goes into Ayunga in the channel, but he's not even got anywhere near it. I don't know what happened there, he just didn't look strong enough. And Menga, their danger man, brings it away, and this front two will cause us chaos again. Casey wins the header though. Can we bring one counter attack? Look how isolated Ayunga is up top. Well, I don't know what we can do about that without throwing away our defensive structure. We might give him a bit of support in the last 5, but we've got to be patient as Ashby goes long, but there's no one up there as a target now. The 2 big men have come off, one performing poorly and one sacrificed for the red card. And Alfonso's in again, and this time Walker makes what it looked to be an excellent save, to be fair. But the confidence is just starting to go now. We're starting to give up on it a little bit. We just want to keep it at 1 now so the confidence doesn't go for the league games as well. I don't think a 1-0 defeat to a League One side should affect the confidence for the league games. We have been excellent, but obviously we drew against Forest Green as well, so it might just go down as 2 without a win and the morale starts to go. We know how fragile it is on this one. Menga has another shot from the edge of the box, which has happened far too often today, but thankfully his shooting boots have been left at home. Long goal kick headed back again, and they're just running through us like butter now. It is a knife through butter, and Ryan crosses to Campbell, and Walker's been forced into another one. They've had a clear-cut chance now as well. Thankfully they haven't taken advantage of their dominance in this half, but we really haven't looked like a League One or League Two team in this last 40 minutes or so. Even before the red card we were getting outplayed. So it shows that the conference is very much our level despite the bright start. We have run out of fitness and confidence as the game's gone on, and obviously the 10 men hasn't helped. but we'd have just looked a class below in this half, particularly up front. They've just got so much quality, with Delfonso in particular. Campbell, the youngsters, look bright, and Atkinson's created chances for them too. We're into stoppage time. It's not going to happen now. It isn't our day. Atkinson's hit it miles wide, but that'll probably just about be that. Overall, we can't be too disappointed. We've got the big tie in the FA Cup. Again, it should help the bank balance, which isn't quite as good at Dover. If it can get us anywhere near to win the Black with the TV money as well, then that would be great. But as it is, it's game over. We've lost the game 1-0. Mitch Walker's kick will be the final whistle. And it is. It's disappointing in terms of the result and the second half with the red card and the performance. But in the first half, we have to take the positives. We were excellent. And if we can take that first half performance into the league campaign, we'll probably go another 10 unbeaten or have a good chance at doing so. We'll sympathise with the performance because they were good in the first half and they just ran out of legs, to be honest. But 10 men over lose to Blackpool. It's just 1-0. It's not a disastrous result, but we are out the FA Cup. That will be it from this episode though. If you have enjoyed it, please put a thumbs up on the video. Subscribe to the channel below for new content from the head coach in the new high definition every Monday to Thursday at 4:30 PM. Thanks for watching and we'll see you next time.